Jeffrey, Marcus, and Jasmine, and I believe this is a TV first, having all three of you together at once. So, thank you so much for joining us. And here's the thing, Jeffrey, I'll start with you because you're the oldest. You're 31, and I think I speak for millions of Americans. The first 4 episodes have been must-see TV. We can't wait for the next 6. Is it true that you're watching this just like the rest of us? You haven't seen all of the episodes?
That's true. That's true. Part of that was on purpose. Part of it was, we just didn't. It kind of got lost in translation. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Just watching it live, seeing the reaction of the whole world really has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what else is to come.
Jeffrey, what has stood out to you most in the first 4?
The relationships. There are so many stories about, the Dennis and the MJ story, about the vacation. There's so many stories about the relationships of the players, as well as how Phil kind of brought them together. That's really been new for me to hear and cool to see.
Marcus, what about you? Your memories from this time? How old were you when this was all going down, and what do you recall?
Yeah, sure. So I was born Christmas Eve, 1990. And so I like to think that I was the good luck that started the championship run in the 90s. And I'm not as patient as Jeff. I've talked to Jason, the director, and I've nagged my dad a couple times to get some of the episodes early. And so I'm really just loving how the reception of it is, and everybody's debating who's the greatest of all time. But I'm pretty sure that this documentary kind of ends all that.
So have you seen the last episode? Have you seen the end?
So I've seen 1 through 9.
Okay.
I haven't seen 10. Last time I talked to Jason, he told me they were still holed up in their apartments editing the last episode under quarantine. But I saw episode 8, and I know that, me, Jeff, and Jasmine have a cameo in episode 10 also.
Jasmine, your father, of course, one of the most recognizable people on the planet. As a little girl, when did you realize that Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan?
It took a while. I think I was like 10, 11 years old when I finally just Googled him and was trying to understand why everyone was so obsessed and why everyone didn't think he just had a regular job like I did. So it definitely took a minute for it to hit me. But no joke, I Googled him, was like, okay, now I get it.
so before that, you didn't know? You had to Google that?
No, I had to Google him because at the end of the day, between him and my mom, our mom, they just made sure we grew up normal and didn't view him any differently. So he's been dad for 27 years. And even at that time, he was just dad. So I didn't realize he was MJ until, preteens in my early youth. So it was shocking.
Jasmine, as you've watched this over the past few weeks, have you seen a side of your father that you didn't know existed?
I always knew he was competitive. I mean, he competes with us just playing Sudoku or little puzzles at home. But actually seeing that dog in him and what he had to do to become who he is today has definitely been eye-opening and honestly inspiring and motivating. So it's been incredible to watch.
Jeffrey, what was childhood like when you grow up the son of Michael Jordan? What is that like?
Yeah, I think I probably was more aware of it early on just because being the first and having a lot of conversations with friends. I was obviously in sports and doing a lot of athletics, but more than anything, just trying to stay active and stay as social as possible. And it felt pretty normal, to piggyback off of what Marcus and Jasmine have said. We knew we were blessed. We knew we had a great opportunity to get an education and grow up in a great situation. But I think for us growing up, our parents, as Jazz said, they wanted to make it as normal as possible, quote unquote, and make sure that we were as active and social as a normal kid would be.
Marcus, you and Jeffrey both played basketball in college. What were those one-on-one games like with Dad, Marcus, growing up? Like, would he treat you two the same way he would treat Isaiah Thomas, or would he go a little lighter on you two?
He would treat us exactly the same way as any other basketball player he was playing. There's actually a story that I have from when Jeff and I were younger. We were playing, one-on-one, against my dad, and whoever scores gets to keep it. Well, the game got so competitive to the point of like, I literally had to go call my mom because I was like, Dad's picking on me. I was young. I was a freshman in high school. But it just goes to show you that, we're all so competitive and we all want to win. And there was nothing, given. You had to earn everything for sure.
Jasmine, we're all trying to stay busy in quarantine, but you have a little one. In fact, I had the chance to meet your little boy a few months ago, and he turns 1 next week. How are you guys going to celebrate in quarantine?
We're going to have just a quarantine gathering, just myself and my fiance and him, and we're going to have balloons everywhere. I'm going to bake a birthday cake. It'll be the first time I've ever baked, so we will see how that goes. But it's just going to be exciting. We're blessed and fortunate that, we get to just spend it all together under crazy circumstances. So we're just looking forward to just being together as a family.
Are the wedding plans still on track for the fall?
Wedding plans are still on track. We're pushing forward, fingers crossed that we can keep it going.
Jeffrey, before I let you guys go, in terms of life lessons, what are some of the life lessons that Michael Jordan imparted on his kids? Jeffrey, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, enjoying what you do. Even when we decided to play basketball at an early age, the first thing he said was, make it fun. He barely gave us any advice or tried to make it serious early on. So, it's definitely enjoying whether it's work, just being at home, family time, whatever it is you do, enjoy it and love it because life is short and you want to make the best of it.
Marcus?
For me, I'm trying to navigate my business with Trophy Room. And, one of the things that, I've taken from my dad is like, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's something that's new for me. And it's something that I was, having challenges early on with. But, his thoughts were, as long as you ask enough questions to figure it out and navigate it yourself, you'll be fine. So,
Jasmine, I'll end with you. What has Dad taught you?
He's really taught me just to be authentic and to be myself. And no matter what I do and whatever we do, just commit to it. Because at the end of the day, who we are is truly our power. That's our gift. And no one can take that away from us. And all we can do is focus on what we control and what we need to do to really just be ourselves. So I live by that every day.
Jasmine, thank you. Marcus, thank you. Jeffrey, thank you as well. You can catch new episodes of The Last Dance Sundays on ESPN.